People in Greenwood, Texas remember where they were that morning. This is before the news trucks came in from Midland and Odessa, even in from San Angelo and Lubbock, places you only ever went for a basketball tournament, or to shop for school clothes in August. It probably would have gone national for a blip or two, not that morning, but what would happen later, except there were fireworks in the sky that week, and nobody was looking anywhere but up. This is where it starts, though. North of Cloverdale, and just east of the school, about a mile in from the Graham place, but on the same side of the road, a series of 3 houses going back, if you count the tack shed the wind finally blew over a couple of weeks ago, nearly 100 years. A porcupine's living in that tack shed now. There are no kids around anymore to chase it, to sneak in on their bellies, close their eyes, and grab for a quill. Run away so fast that by the time they stop, their knees are stained green with cotton. The thin horseshoes are still there under the rotten boards, though, along with the buckles of saddles with stories nobody'll ever know. Nails lumped with rust, but still solid. An old yoke half chewed away by generations of puppies that should have known better than to ever grow into dogs. And spread all around for acres, so that they spill into the turn rows, old tractors and ramshackle plows, left where they broke, the husks of loyal trucks not for sale, faded beer cans on their dashboards, and trailers of every kind, their tongues hidden in last summer's careless weeds, some of those trailers mounded with farm sale steels that were never unloaded. 2 barns, slat-board stables leaning closer and closer to the ground, and then the new blue pipe arena, dirt still bermed up from where the regulation plastic barrels used to be, 500-gallon silver tanks on racks for gas and farm-grade diesel, gravity hoses, not electric pumps, and a rut road wandering through it all. A horse trap ran along the side of the property with gates at either end. A chute on the house side, a rickety windmill cocked against the sky, its concrete tank cracked open 20 years ago, all the moss dried and gone, the goldfish carried away by birds. The King place, right about dawn. Arthur King stands in the doorway for a moment before pointing his boot down to the porch, giving it what's left of his weight. Out on Cloverdale, a pumper flashes by, his truck chugging white smoke, his new tires singing on the asphalt. Arthur King raises his cup to the pumper, groans down into his chair. He still remembers when Cloverdale was 307. Hardly even that. A packed dirt road that fell away sharp on both sides and went as far as you could see in either direction, connecting Midland with 137, which would crook you north into Stanton. Or, if you turned earlier like everybody did back then, a cut across to the Gin. Arthur King doesn't use the Stanton Co-op anymore, though. Hardly anybody in Greenwood does. It's not because of the low spot in the cut-across road where you can drag a low trailer if it's too long, though pulling 6 or 7 daisy-chain cotton trailers up that hill's claimed a rear end or two. It's that everybody remembers Earl Holbrook some, the guy who runs the Midland Gin now. He did his last 2 years of high school at Greenwood and put a lot of hours on a lot of tractors back when he was trying to make a go of it, before he washed out, like nearly everybody else did a couple years back. Everybody who was taking it just a year at a time, anyway. Out on his porch that morning, Arthur King isn't smoking a cigarette to wake up, not anymore, but he can't seem to break the habit of stepping outside either. It's got to where he wonders if that was what it was all about in the first place, the smoking. He just wanted a few breaths to himself. It's foolish. He smiles at it all, stands up just to lean down on the railing, spit a brown line down into his wife's flower bed, survey the morning. Inside, it's breakfast.